The Bible presents one continuous story from beginning to end. It is not simply a collection of separate writings. It explains why the world looks the way it does today, why suffering exists, and what God will do to correct it. The message begins with creation and moves through human history, toward a future where all the damage caused by rebellion and sin is reversed. Understanding this larger picture helps make sense of every individual event in the Bible. Everything leads back to one central purpose and one central conflict that must be resolved. The story begins with God creating humans to live forever in perfect conditions. They were meant to enjoy life, raise families, and fill the earth. There was no sickness or death. God gave them freedom and the ability to choose, but an angel decided to oppose God. He challenged God's right to rule by suggesting that humans would be happier deciding good and bad for themselves. This was not just an act of disobedience. It was a claim that God's way was not truly the best. Satan repeated this idea to Eve. Adam joined her in disobedience. Their choice introduced sin into the world. Romans 5:12 explains the result. Therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man and death through sin, and in this way death came to all people because all sinned. This is the Bible's explanation for human suffering. Death exists because the first humans rejected the source of life. Even at that moment, God gave the first promise of salvation. Genesis 3:15 records this prophecy. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. This reveals a future conflict between Satan and a chosen descendant. The striking of the heel points to temporary suffering for the Messiah. The crushing of the head shows a final and permanent defeat for Satan. This prophecy becomes the foundation for everything that follows. It introduces the Messiah, the purpose of his suffering, and the certainty of Satan's destruction. As generations passed, human society grew. Some people sought God, but most drifted away. Violence, corruption, and moral decay filled the earth. The flood was the first major judgment. God preserved Noah and his family because they were faithful. The event demonstrates that God will not allow wickedness to continue forever. But after the flood, God allowed humanity to rebuild. The original question raised in Eden had not been answered. Could humans live successfully without God's direction? Would they obey God from love rather than fear? Human history became the arena where this question would be resolved. Centuries later, God selected a specific nation for a special purpose. He chose the descendants of Abraham. Their role was twofold. Through this nation, the promised Messiah would be born. They were also given a detailed law that revealed God's standards for justice, compassion, honesty, and worship. Their history shows what happens when people follow God's guidance and what happens when they ignore it. Their successes demonstrate God's blessings. Their failures show the consequences of turning away. This record was preserved so that all people could learn from it. The nation's entire existence served to prepare the way for the Messiah and to teach humanity what is right. When the Messiah finally arrived, he lived a perfect life. He showed what human life looks like when guided fully by God. He taught people about God's kingdom and demonstrated compassion for those who suffered. But his most important role was to provide the ransom that could free humanity from the consequences of Adam's sin. Hebrews 9:28 states, "So Christ was sacrificed once to take away the sins of many. His death satisfied justice and made forgiveness possible. His resurrection proved that God can restore life. This fulfilled the part of the prophecy in Genesis where the heel is struck. The Messiah suffered, but his suffering was not permanent. His future role includes destroying Satan and removing the effects of sin completely. A major part of that future work is the 1,000-year kingdom. During this period, the Messiah rules the earth and brings humanity back to the condition God intended from the start. Revelation 22-3 describes what happens next. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent who is the devil or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. He threw him into the abyss and locked and sealed it over him to keep him from deceiving the nations anymore until the 1,000 years were ended. During this time, Satan and his demons cannot influence humans. Those who survive the final judgment at the end of this system will live under ideal conditions. People will learn the truth clearly. Their minds and bodies will be restored. Suffering will disappear. the world will begin to reflect God's original purpose once again. At the end of the 1,000 years, Satan is released for a short time. Revelation 27:8 says, "When the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations." This final test is essential. It shows who genuinely chooses God's way after experiencing the blessings of the kingdom. Those who follow Satan again reveal their true desires. Those who remain loyal prove that obedience comes from the heart. The test settles the issue raised in Eden permanently. After this, Satan, his demons, and all who choose rebellion are destroyed. Revelation 20:10 describes the outcome. "And the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur. This is the crushing of the serpent's head. From this point, there is no more rebellion and no more distortion of truth. God then completes his purpose for humanity." Revelation 21:4 describes the restored world. "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." This is the final destination of the Bible's entire message. A world free from suffering, a human family living in peace, a creation fully restored to the condition God intended from the beginning. The core message of the Bible is centered on one great issue: can humans live happily under God's direction? Satan claimed that they could not, and that God's authority was restrictive and unnecessary. God allowed time for this question to be examined. Human history shows the consequences of rejecting God's guidance. The future kingdom will show the benefits of living in harmony with God. When all evidence has been gathered and every question is resolved, the universe will be secure forever. God's purpose for the earth and for humanity will be completely fulfilled.